dignitaries of the dais, Shri Kumar, who could not be present yet, Dr. Jayali, Dr. Sudilal, Dr. Deeta, whom I had the opportunity to meet in Kalpakkam, all the principals, teachers who have gathered over here. Well, I was a bit curious because these sort of occasions give us an opportunity to learn, and life is a process of learning, where teachers play a part right from kindergarten till the end. And every day is a learning process. Today, the way in which this particular function had been arranged, it was really wonderful. I should compliment the entire team of AES, the chairman, the secretary, the chairman, let them say everybody. And I feel that once I go back to Kalpakkam, I would tell that this is the way it can be organized and it can be conducted there also. Well, the second thing is, it made me inquisitive that yes, today is the Teachers' Day on which we pay our respects, and we fondly remember Sarvapalli, Dr. Radhakrishnan, who was the greatest philosopher, statesman, and educator. I was curious to know whether Teachers' Day is held only in India or elsewhere. And as usual, you go to Google, and when I did a small sort of this one search, I was pleasantly surprised to see that right from Afghanistan to Uzbekistan or something, France, Canada, etc., they have Teachers' Day, of course on different days, not on September 5th. And it was really surprising, and we had the World Teachers' Day on October 5th, which is being celebrated by UNESCO. That was again a sort of information for me. But the most interesting and important part of it was how this came to be celebrated as Teachers' Day in India. And when I went into the history, I found that Professor Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who was the second president of India, he took over the presidency in 1962, the year I was born. And once he became the president, some of his students approached him and told him that they wanted to celebrate his birthday. He was born on 5th September 1888. He said, instead of celebrating my birthday, it would be my proud privilege if 5th September is observed as Teachers' Day. So I thought that it is a wonderful thing what he has done. And today, I feel that I have been given this proud privilege of being here today amidst you by my dear friends in Ranjit Kumar, Dr. Layali, Dr. Sudilal. And it is also my proud privilege to not address you, but pay my respects to all of you, to your seniors, to the AES fraternity who has made our wards the best students in the country and very good future citizens. So with these words, let me start. And I was just thinking what I should talk to an August gathering, because I was in Kalpakkam about a month back witnessing the principal's conclave, and there I found that you teachers, you have a much better command over English, you have a much better knowledge, you are armed with all the facts and figures, quotable quotes, quoting right from Abraham Lincoln. So what can I talk in front of an August gathering like you? And Mr. Dr. Sudila set the platform, because again, he educated today us on Professor Mahadevan's teachings and also the 4 classifications of Adhyapak, Upadhyay, Acharya and Guru. In fact, frankly speaking, I didn't know that these sort of classifications existed. And that set the tone. That started, I started thinking. And I could see that within our AES fraternity, in fact, Madam Balvinda Arora had said that she saw that we needed to introspect after the speech about all these things within the AES community. But I, as a parent and as a student, I felt that yes, AES has all the categories, including Guru, within us. So I thought that I will not take much time. I will take just two examples. I'd say that yes, this institution, whose legacy is more than about 50 years old, has been contributing tremendously and would definitely contribute with the support from the management of the Department of Atomic Energy. Well, the Department of Atomic Energy, I am proud to be a part of it, is one of the most visionary departments, not one of the, is the visionary department in the country. And I stand by this statement because there is not a facet of life in the society today which is not touched by the departmental activities. Energy, which is of paramount importance, clean energy, green energy, nuclear energy is clean and green. And today we have an excellent program. We have a strong 3-stage program laid by Dr. Baba. We are now in the second stage, which is marching very well. Hopefully, in the coming months, we should have a very good news about the second stage. And we are confident that our scientists and technologies will be a part, will ensure that nuclear energy is part of the energy security of this particular nation that can definitely deliver clean energy by 2070. The second part is ionizing radiations. In fact, it is this department which has pioneered the application of ionizing radiations in healthcare, agriculture, you name the field, it has developed. Many of the innovations and discoveries at the Baba Atomic Research Center and the other units of the Department of Atomic Energy have played and continue to play a crucial role. And in this particular context, I think Dr. Lahiri has already set the tone that when the principal's conclave takes place, the principals and the faculty should also visit the institutions. I think the next one is being planned at Jadavpura. He has already indicated that people should visit the uranium mines at Jadavpura for you to understand how the process of uranium mining takes over, is done, and what are the implications, etc., and what is the crucial role it plays. So you are the brand ambassadors of the department, because as Mr. Sugilal has told, and this is our personal experience, if we tell our children, they don't listen. They listen to you only. And if you can definitely ignite this particular aspect, and if some of our own students come back to our fraternity, it's nothing like that. Well, this is one part of it. So let me come back to the sort of thought I had. Let me start with my own life there. Probably somewhere in 1971-72, I was in AECS Hyderabad. I was a student of 6th standard of AECS Hyderabad. And we were taken to Golconda Fort. We had excursions at that point of time. I think today, due to various projects, concessions being withdrawn, this is still there, but okay. So, the 5th, 6th and 7th standard students were taken to Golconda Fort. And we were being shown around the Golconda Fort, and then some of the students, I was an introvert, I don't speak out, I was just watching. Some of the students were asking the teacher, a lady teacher, that what is the story behind this particular Golconda Fort? There is a particular, cell at the top there. Ramadas, Bhakta Ramadas, they used to call, was also a house. So they were just asking, and the teacher, during the course of her narration, told the students that you should not only be inquisitive about the story, the mythology, but you should also see how this particular fort had been built in those days with limited technologies. These words sank deep in my mind. Then at that point of time, it was not of much significance, I should say, but it sank deep. The thought that you should explore not only the mythology part, but the scientific part also. And then subsequently, I joined the Department of Atomic Energy. And subsequently, my father was in DA, so he got transferred to Kalpakkam. And I joined in Kalpakkam, and then In 8th standard, all of us are given projects. We were given a project, and I was given a project on volcano. And at that time, we had limited resources. So we had to make a model of volcano and then demonstrate it in the school. So our physics teacher, Mr. Venugopal, he was in charge for some of us. So we took a very crude model. My father and mother didn't help me at all. I had to do it on my own. No, maybe it's not, I'm not complaining. Okay, so the thing is, I took a crude, we three of us were there, students, we took the model. My physics teacher chided me, what is this? This is not, we just clubbed together a small sort of paper with this one, etc. He said that you should be a little bit imaginative. And you should not only say what a volcano is, you should also think of what are the other areas. You are only talking about the lava, but once the lava solidifies, it has many applications. You should think in multiple ways and make your project interesting. Well, that made us go to library. We had about 1 week's time. That made us go to library, see how we can make a volcano in action. So we got hold of our chemistry teacher, and the teacher told us that potassium permanganate and something, if you join together, you can have a small sort of iron sort of thing, etc., etc. And then we depicted, at that time we didn't have all these computers, etc. So in charts we made it, and it also gave us an insight that once lava gets solidified, it is rich in minerals. And many of the villagers, they collect it, and today many of the rare minerals are also found in the lava. So this set in the process of thinking beyond what is being given. Well, again, at that point of time, it was an educational activity, and our project got selected at a national level. Of course, we didn't get a prize because there were better projects. But during the course of the evaluation, one of the teachers who was there, he came and asked us, okay, these are all fine. Can you tell me how I can say that a lava is going to, a volcano is going to erupt so that I can evacuate the villages around nearby? We had never given a thought in that direction. We said that sound will come, etc. He just smiled and then went away. So, thinking in a multidisciplinary way, interdisciplinary way, the seeds of it were sown at that point of time, at 8th standard. That was it. I joined the Department of Atomic Energy. In 1988, one of our former chairman's daughter was doing a project on archaeology, Sharda Sridwasan. So she came with some idols. They wanted it to be examined. We did the examination. Somewhere in 1995, we had a famous case of Puttur Nataraja, which was in the university, which was in London. And the government of India was trying to get it back to India, saying that this Nataraja, everybody knows that Nataraja belongs to India. This Nataraja belongs to India, and we would like to have it back in India. So in the court of law, the judge asked, how do you say that this Nataraja is from India? We did not have any legal forensic evidence. So what our people did was, the bottom base of the Nataraja, the place from where it was stolen, it had some patches of mud. That mud was taken, it was compared. This Nataraja was made in a village near Tanjavur. They came back, they studied the alluvial soils of Kaveri river, from where the sands are taken to make such statues. They compared it. Based on this circumstantial evidence, the court in London granted this Nataraja to India, and it was bought. This was Aravalla Nataraja. And that set the Department of Science and Technology thinking that all these sort of rare icons which get stolen from the various temples and museums in India should be fingerprinted. So this task of developing the scientific methodology for fingerprinting was given to Dr. Baldev Raj, who was the then director of Metallurgy and Materials Group at IGCAR Kalpakkam. So we were a small group, we were sitting together, and then he was saying that, okay, you formulate the scientific methodology for fingerprinting these items. So immediately we came up with radiography, and then in situ metallography, and X-ray fluorescence, etc. Then that's all, the meeting ended, and then we said we will submit a proposal to DE for about 96 lakhs at that time, 1 crore. And but subsequently, as I was just going along, I was just thinking, why these two idols should be stolen from the country? What makes it so priceless? So again I went back to our library and also to my school library at Kalpakkam, Encyclopedia and Britannica. And I found that these idols are made in a particular way. So I came back to Dr. Baldev and told that, sir, this project is fine, we will develop the scientific methodology. But can we also have an insight into how these idols and icons are traditionally fabricated in the country? He caught on to the idea, and we spent 3 days with a Stapati whose lineage could be traced back to 11th century, who was working for Rajaraja Chola, who built a great temple. So we sat with him for 3 days, learned, me, the present Vice Chancellor of HPNA, Dr. Kamachi, and 2 other colleagues, we went. We learned that particular process, and mind you, the science and technology, the art of icon making is something superb. And it has a solid basis of scientific, what you call it, basis in that making. For making an idol or an icon, the traditional Stapatis use coconut leaf. They don't use the thread, they don't use scales, etc. even today. Why a coconut leaf? Because this coconut leaf, even if it dries, does not change in temperatures. Agama Shastras prescribe how the idol should be made. We learned all these things, and mind you, it was an eye-opener. Of course, a book was also written. That is different. But we learned a lot, and that was really a very good knowledge. The story doesn't stop with that. 2002, Department of Atomic Energy decided to give a statue of Nataraja, Dancing Shiva, to CERN in Geneva. CERN in Geneva is the birthplace of the God's particle, the Big Bang theory, and also of World Wide Web, not very good. So it was decided, and again Dr. Baldev was asked to coordinate this. Dr. Baldev chose me to be the coordinator for the fabrication of this particular statue. What I learned in '96, we could put it into place, and we fabricated the tallest Nataraja in the world, which was gifted to CERN in Geneva, and Dr. Kapoorkar had handed it over. Now if you see, what is the relationship between CERN and Dancing Shiva? If you see the Dancing Shiva, you have the drum on one hand, you have the flame on another hand, you have a Prabhavali, a circular arch with flames on it. The drum signifies sound, and they say that the universe was born with a Big Bang, the Big Bang theory. That is the origin. Its origin is in CERN Geneva. The flame, it gobbles up everything. Our cosmos has a lot of black holes, and all these black holes, whatever comes in, it just gobbles it up. And if you see the cosmos, the Prabhavali represents the cosmos. The flames on the cosmos, on the Prabhavali, represents the stars in perpetual motion. And the Ananda Tandava of Nataraja is similar to the Brownian motion of the subatomic particles. This is told by, if we in India tell this, you will not believe. In 1934, it has been documented in Tao of Physics. And what they have done is, they have taken a picture of the Brownian motion, superimposed it on the dance of Shiva. It is available in Tao of Physics, you can see it. So this was done there, and then it was gifted. Today, if you just go to Google and say Dancing Shiva Sir, you can see the beautiful picture of this majestic Nataraja standing there, and it's really wonderful. Well, does the story stop there? No. In 2016, there was the India International Science Festival, which was organized by Vigyan Bharati, and there I presented this as part of the talk. We always talk about the Department of Atomic Energy. At the end, I presented this Nataraja statue. I don't know who had picked it up. 2 years back, the department, our Minister of State got a call from PMO's office saying that you people have fabricated this, please give us the details. We submitted the details. We do not know what happened, but subsequently we know that there is a statue of Nataraja today in, I think, the new Lok Sabha. And does the story stop there? No. The present chairman of Atomic Energy Commission, I told him that the Department of Atomic Energy Office should also have a statue of Nataraja. Because it has a long tradition, history. You forget the mythology part of it. It has science and technology behind it. He also agreed, but then the cost of fabrication was quite high. 2 crores for a 20 feet statue. So then, okay, I also superannuated, I left. But yesterday when I went inside the Department of Atomic Energy to his office, we had to go through the corridors. And as we entered, I found that on the 10 feet wall, a beautiful picture of Nataraja is there. And it was really wonderful. It really touched. I thought today I would say, like, what is the significance of this story? The words of the teacher during the Golconda Fort, the words of my physics teacher, all ignited the curiosity in me. And that made me possible to travel all these things and make this happen. Of course, they are again. So I remember my teachers with gratitude. Then this is one aspect. I just take 2 more examples of students. Because a teacher, the syllabus what you have in today's field, which is getting modified by NCERT, etc., is just a raw material. How this raw material is presented to the student, how the raw material is made to ignite the passion in the student, the curiosity within the student, are all in your hands. And you can definitely make a difference. At AECS in Kalpakkam, I don't want to name the school. I'm talking about 10 or 15 years back. A group of students were there in 8th standard. The maths teacher used to give the sums in the class. Some of these students used to complete all the problems much earlier, and they used to chat. The normal tendency would be that stop talking, otherwise I'll send you out of the class. The teacher did not do that. She just went around and she found that these 3 students who were chatting, who were talking to each other, they had already completed their maths problems and they had attempted it correctly also. So rather than chiding them, she silently went. In the next class, she got an additional book of mathematics, gave it to the students and told them that, okay, you have completed your portion now, do this. She made them do that, and mind you, 10th standard, all the 3 students got 100 out of 100, and one of the students became All India 4th, 10th standard. He was selected for Singapore because at that time, in 2004, etc., there was a program where the toppers from the institutions were taken to Singapore. He came to Bombay, AES, and from here, they had gone to Singapore, etc. And when I was discussing with my colleagues on what this, that student sent back a message to me. He wrote this particular incident. I'm just reading it out to you. I used to finish the exercises after every chapter ahead of the class. Maths teacher, on noticing this, got a different book, and just for me and my 2 friends who finished earlier, gave us the book and asked us to practice. Okay. His words, 15 years now, he is now an engineer, a budding young engineer. He completed his PhD from Pennsylvania State University with honors. He has been selected in Intel, one of the topmost institutions, and is working there. Now he has written, her principle and her words stood up. School is not just a place where you learn syllabus. It is a place where you learn the limits of your potential and outgrow it. I think the best tribute a student can give to the English faculty. This is one. The second part of it is, well, this teacher is an acharya. definitely. Like many teachers have been adhyapaks and upadhyayas, this teacher is definitely, our teacher is definitely an acharya. I was the chairman LMC for about 3 years. And during one of my, by, I don't know, by force or whatever it is, chairman LMC has to be the chief guest, whether you like it or not. So you can have some with due respect. Okay. So I was called for a function in the school, and the teacher took me around, etc. And all of you, again, we have exhibits. So in the course of the process, what the students have done during that particular year, that art, architecture, the creativity, are all exhibited during the school day functions. And during the course, I found that there were a lot of there were students who were interested in art. And once a student had drawn a sort of painting, hand sketch with a pencil, that was wonderful. Well, the teacher come principal introduced me, saying that, look, this is, I stood in front of the painting, he immediately noticed it, he said that, look, this painting has been made by a student. I appreciated that. I said it is really wonderful. Normal teachers or principals, they would have stopped with that, and we would have appreciated the student in the meeting and in the function, and it was stopped. He went one step ahead and then told, this student hails from a very poor family. In fact, we have been trying to see that his father is an errand boy, he who does small errands, and his mother is a housewife who does cleaning jobs, etc. And this student was in 11th standard. So, till now, we have been finding support for him to pay school fees, etc. And it has been done. We stopped with that. We didn't tell anything further. The moment I heard this, I just thought, and once I went back to office, it was ringing in my mind that such students, they should be nurtured. So immediately, I set an example, and then I had a few friends. Today the student has completed 12. Then that is one part of it. But in Kalpakkam, we have a small temple of Goddess Kamachi, which is a very old temple. I went to the temple one day, and it was evening, and as I just entered the temple, washed my legs and then went inside, a man came to me and he told, sir, thank you very much. I said, I didn't know him also. He said, why? No, sir, you have supported my son's education. I said, it is nothing. He has done well, etc. I said, you should not thank me. You should thank the principal, the teacher, who brought this to my attention and made it possible. He told me one word, one sentence. Sir, I'm telling you in Tamil. Our younger இருந்தாலும் அவர் காலில் விடுவேன். Wherever he is, I will fall at his feet. He is an acharya. He is a guru. This principle had proved that he not only took what you call interest in the students' affairs, etc., in the education part, much beyond that. What Mr. Sugilal told about acharya, guru, etc. So, dear teachers, I would now stop at this particular stage. I will say that I have been given this particular privilege, not of addressing you, but on this particular occasion of Teachers' Day, I am saying that I am privileged to stand, a privilege given by Chairman AES, Secretary AES, Chairman LMC, to stand in front of you, and as a student of AECS, as a parent of ones who have studied in AECS, and representing all the parents, scientific, technical, administrative, whose bonds have been nurtured in AECS, who today are in very good positions and whom we are confident will be very good citizens of the future. You teachers who are candidates, sacrificing yourselves for illuminating the lives of others. I stand before you and I am privileged to pay my respects to all of you on this particular occasion. Thank you and Jai Hind.